Hello everyone, welcome to the session on 8-month study plan for TISSNET 2019 exam. In this session, we are going to discuss that what should be your strategy to be able to score high in TISSNET exam and what should be the sequence in which you should be studying the topics based on the weightage in TISSNET exam so that you can plan your study very effectively. Let us move ahead. As you all know, the exam consists of 100 questions with 100 marks, and the total time given to you is 100 minutes, and there is no negative marking in TISSNET exam. That means you are going to attempt 100% paper. Now the point becomes that you need to attempt the entire paper with as high accuracy as possible because the cutoffs are usually very high in TISSNET. Considering the easy level of the exam, the cutoffs for different courses are different and they are pretty high as compared to some of the other MBA entrance exams. As you can see that on an average, the cutoffs are usually in the range of 66 to 81 marks for the top 5 courses of this, with the upper range of 78 to 81 going for the HR course. Now, coming to the breakup of 100 questions, you will have 40 questions from the GK section, then you will have 30 questions from verbal, and then you will have 30 questions from Quant, LR, and DI kept together. Now, moving to the important GK topics. The most important topics for the GK section are government schemes, programs, and initiatives taken by the Indian government over a period of last 1 year, and social and economic issues which the country is facing. These two constitute the most important topics within the GK section. You may have 5 to 7 questions from each of these two topics in the exam. The next two most important topics are current affairs and business and economy, where you can find 4 to 6 questions from each of the two topics. The next set of important topics are history, census, science, arts, dance, culture, tribes. Now, this particular row which you see of history till tribes and languages will give you around 2 to 3 questions per topic. And then coming to the last row where we have mentioned sports, books and authors, geography, awards and polity, here you will find 1 to 2 questions per topic in the exam. So this is how the spread of the GK section in the TISSNET exam is there, where government schemes, programs, initiatives, and social and economic issues form the most important part. If you will compare this with any other MBA entrance exam, the topics which stand different or say stand apart in TISSNET GK are government schemes, programs, and initiatives, social and economic issues, then the topics like arts, dance, culture, tribes. These are the topics which you don't get in any other exam, but they mostly come in TISSNET, and this makes TISSNET GK very different as compared to any other MBA entrance exam. Moving to the verbal section, the two most important topics from verbal are reading comprehension and vocabulary based fill in the blanks. Put together, you will find 10 questions from reading comprehension in the exam, where you will get 2 to 3 passages with 10 questions, and then around 7 to 8 questions from vocabulary based fill in the blanks. The next set of important topics from verbal includes sentence correction and antonyms and synonyms. You will find around 10 to 12 questions from these two topics put together. The set of next topics includes grammar based fill in the blanks, spot the error, parajumbles, and idioms. These topics form the spread of the verbal section in TISSNET exam, and as you can see, reading comprehension and vocabulary based fill in the blanks remain the most important topics. And if I put antonyms and synonyms also in the vocabulary category, then you will see that RC and vocabulary is the most important part of the verbal section when it comes to TISSNET. When it comes to Quant, the two most important topics are ratio proportion, mixture allocations, and simple interest. These are the most important topics, followed by percentages, time, speed and distance, time and work, profit and loss. You will find around 5 to 6 questions out of 10 to 12 questions of con from these two layers of topics which you see on your screen right now. The next most important topic is linear equation, from which you may find around 2 questions in the exam, and then comes the set of numbers, geometry and quadratic equations, from which you can find 1 to 3 questions put together. That means that numbers, geometry and quadratic are not that important for TISSNET as compared to arithmetic and linear equations. Thus, if you are a person who is not very strong with quant but is aiming for TISSNET, then you don't need to spend a lot of energy on numbers, geometry and quadratic. Rather, you can focus your energy on the topics from arithmetic and linear equation, and you should be all good to score high in the exam. Coming to LR, again you will find 18 to 20 questions coming from LR and DI part. Now, out of these 18 to 20 questions which are going to come from LR and DI, the most important topics include set theory, sequence and series, bar charts, line graphs, arrangements, and tables. Put together from these topics which you see on your screen, you will find around 10 to 12 questions in the exam. That is set theory, sequence and series, bar charts, line graphs, arrangements, and tables. They constitute around 10 to 12 questions in the exam. The next set of topics include data sufficiency, statement assumption conclusion, and the topics like blood relations, direction sense, syllogism. These topics which you see in the last two rows on your screen right now, these would give you around 6 to 8 questions in the exam, while 12 to 14 questions would come from the topics which you see in the first 3 lines on the screen, that is set theory, sequence and series, bar charts, line graphs, arrangements, and tables. Thus, you know which are the most important topics when it comes to LR and DI. Now, let's move to our core agenda, that is your study plan. And as we'll move ahead in this session, we are going to talk about that what should be the topics which you should be covering in specific months based on their weightage in the exam, based on how much time you need to learn them, based on how much practice do you need to retain the knowledge from those topics, because GK is something which you may study today but forget tomorrow, and hence it becomes important that you study in a way where you can retain the most what you are studying. Coming first to the topics which you should be focusing more on May June time. During these 2 months, when it comes to GK section, you should be studying a plethora of ebooks which we have given to you, along with the tests from the respective topics. So when you start off GK in May, you should start off with fact sheets of March and April. Now, for those people who don't know what are fact sheets are your current affairs, the current affairs booklets which we give for every month. So you should start off with current affairs of March and April. Then you should follow it up with history, then polity, then international revolutions. Remember, international revolutions is a very important topic from GK perspective. For TISSNET, you may find 1 to 2 questions only from international revolutions in the exam. Then comes your union budget, then Indian dances. Again, you will find at least 1 question from Indian dance in the paper. Then comes your fact sheet of May. Then comes your important dates and days. You will again find 1 or 2 questions in the exam from important dates and days. And then you should couple all the above ebooks from fact sheets of March and April, history, polity, international revolutions, union budget, dances, days and dates, with the practice monthly GK tests which we have provided to you in the course. You should be attempting them as well in the month of May and June. As far as verbal goes, for verbal, you at this particular point of time, you just need to focus on vocabulary, Do not bother about other topics of verbal. As far as people who are the part of our TISSNET coaching course, you already have a vocabulary ebook in your course. Just refer to that, start studying the words there. Those people who are not the part of the course, especially the TISSNET coaching course, they can go for GRE Barron's high frequency word list and study vocabulary from it. Coming to the topics from Quant LR and DI, which you should be focusing for the month of May and June, these topics include numbers. Study numbers at a very high level. You don't need to solve level 2 and level 3 questions from numbers. Just the introductory level and level 1 questions of numbers should be good. The reason, despite the fact that from numbers you will hardly get one or two questions in the exam, we make you study numbers first because numbers is the base of every other topic which you are going to study. Once you have completed numbers in May, you should move to arithmetic topics like percentages, ratio and proportion, mixtures and allocations, time, speed and distance, and time and work to complete them in the month of May and June. As far as LR and DI is concerned, just study set theory in these 2 months. That would be good enough for you. So this is the broad plan for the month of May and June, which you see on your screen. We strongly suggest you to study the topics within these sections in the sequence which we have shared with you. This is arrived on the basis of the importance of the topics from exam perspective and how much time do you need to revise them as you move ahead in your preparation journey. I'll just take a 10 seconds pause so that you can just have a quick look once again on this screen. Moving ahead to July and August. Now, first thing which you need to do in July and August from GK perspective is to study the science ebook. It's a very important ebook. You will be getting questions from physics, you will be getting questions from chemistry, you will be getting questions even from biology in your TISSNET GK. Focus well on the science ebook because of this fact that you may get 2 to 3 questions from science itself in the exam and you never know whether they will be from physics, chemistry or biology. Once you have done the science ebook, go back to all the ebooks which you have studied in May and June and revise them all. It's very important for you to continuously revise what you have been studying so that you don't forget. And hence, after the science ebook, we have kept the revision of ebooks studied in May and June in the study plan. Once you are done with this, then you move to the June fact sheet. After June fact sheet, you can move to geography, the geography ebook. It will consist of lot of data, topics like international borders, rivers, boundaries, covered in the geography ebook. Is going to help you a lot from the exam perspective because there are direct questions which come in exam from international boundaries, rivers, mountains, etc. Once you are done with the geography ebook, you can move to January and February fact sheets. And once you are done with them, books and authors, business and economy are the next two ebooks which you should be taking up for the exam preparation. Once you are done with this, you can revise all the ebooks which you have prepared so far. Once you have revised all of them, move to practice the GK tests which are being provided to you for the months of July and August. Simultaneously, when we talk about verbal, since you have already started with vocabulary, vocabulary is something which you will continue even in the month of July and August. This time, in addition to vocabulary, you should also be studying reading comprehension, sentence correction, and spot the error. And by the time you will enter the months of July and August, we would have provided you the idioms ebook as well, which you should start studying because you will be getting 1 to 3 questions from idioms in the exam, and it's important for you to prepare. And hence, if you are the part of TISSNET coaching course, you will find the idioms ebook in your course. In case you are not the part of the TISSNET coaching course, you may refer to any phrases and idioms ebook available out there in the market and try to study idioms from that. That is about verbals. That is Keep your focus up on vocabulary, keep studying vocabulary, couple it with RCs, sentence correction, spot the error, and idioms. When it comes to Cont LRNDI, this is the period where you should be focusing more on LRNDI topics after having completed your arithmetic, which we put up majorly in May and June. So once you are done with your arithmetic part, you should be moving to topics like sequence and series, arrangements, tables, bar charts, line graphs, and linear equations. So these six topics are what you should be focusing on during the period of July and August, and you should ensure that you are very thoroughly preparing all these topics across the sections in the sequence which we have shared with you, because this is going to help you very significantly in your overall preparation as you will move ahead. Also, the, the moment you enter the month of July, take one mock test. Around 15th to 20th July, take one mock test. Similarly, take one mock test around 15th to 20th August. This will give you a good flavor of how your preparation is going on, how you are moving ahead, how much are you scoring, how much you need to improve, how far are you from the cutoff mark, and what should be your revised strategy in July and August based on your preparation level at that point of time to ensure that you ultimately end up scoring high in the actual exam. Moving to September and October time period, when it comes to GK, first of all, study and revise all the ebooks which you have studied from May till August. Revise all those ebooks. Once you have revised all of them, move to social and economic issues ebook, move to government schemes ebook, then move to July and August fact sheets, then move to the Indian languages ebook, and then move to the tribes and culture ebook. And this will ensure that you are done with almost 90% of your GK syllabus. Revision of all the ebooks which you have started to study from May onwards. Social and economics issues ebook, I'm emphasizing on social and economic issues, government schemes, because these two are going to be very critical from exam perspective. And once you have done them, you can go on with July and August fact sheets, Indian languages, tribes and culture. Coming to the verbal part, you should continue your studies for vocabulary, you should continue your studies for idioms, and couple it with studying parajumbles as well during the time of September and October. Moving to your Cont LRNTI part, all the topics which were remaining and they had more than one question from them coming in the exam, like data sufficiency, statement assumption conclusion, blood relations, direction sense, syllogism, and quadratic equations. You should be doing all these topics. Remember, you will not get more than one question from quadratic, hence quadratic is kept at the bottom, and from the first five topics, you may be getting around 2 to 3 questions per topic, or say around 5 to 6 questions from all the five topics put together in the exam, and hence these are the important ones to help you score high in the exam. Hence, data sufficiency, statement assumption conclusion, blood relations, direction sense, and syllogism should be completed in the month of September and latest by first half of October. And once you are done with them, then you can complete your quadratic equations. Also, as you will enter the month of September, you should start taking one full length mock every 15 days. That would make it 2 mocks for September and 2 mocks for October. And you will definitely be aiming to see a gradual increase in your score from the mock tests which you took in previous 2 months, that is July and August, and the mocks which you will be taking in September and October. You should be tracking your score, you should be seeing how you are doing, and your scores should be improving. In case the scores are not improving, go back to your mocks, analyze them, see where you are going wrong, see what are the areas where you are not scoring well, and rework on those areas. Because September and October is the time where you can focus and rework on the topics where you are weak, and hence you should be analyzing all the mocks which you should be taking at this point of time. That is the mocks which you took in July, the mock which you took in August, the mocks which you took in September. You should be analyzing them in October and reworking on those areas which you identify as your weak areas. November, focus should be on complete revision for the GK part and special focus on government schemes, social and economic issues ebook, and studying September and October fact sheets. For verbal, continue studying your vocabulary, continue studying your idioms. The rest of the topics, mocks and sectional tests are going to take care of. And in Cont LRNDI, just ensure to study geometry because this is the only topic which you have not studied till October. So in November you should be studying geometry at a very basic level, because in the exam you are going to get a very basic level one question from geometry. As far as full length mocks go, as you enter November, you should be taking one full length mock every 7 days in November. This is very important for you to continuously improve your scores and move towards the upper spectrum of the cutoff. Coming to December and January, only revision should be your focus area. That is revision of all GK ebooks and the GK tests which you have practiced all this time. As far as mocks go, you should be taking one full length mock every 4 days in December, and you should be taking one full length mock every 3 days in January till the exam date. Remember, the exam is going to happen on second Saturday of January. So before that, you should be taking one full length mock every 3 days. And December you can also utilize in revising some of the topics from Cont LRDI where you did not fare well in the mocks which you have taken so far. So in December probably you can revise some of those topics, but your major focus should be on revising GK ebooks and practicing GK tests which we are providing you. So with this frequency of mock tests and the continuous analysis of the mock tests which you are going to take, your score is bound to improve. There is no reason that your score does not improve. Then lot of you have been enrolling in our TISSNET courses, especially since last 3 years since we have become the number one TISSNET course. You all have been enrolling a lot. So people who are the part of our courses, I would just like to tell you that you don't need to go to other resources, other books out there and be bothered a lot. Just study GK from the ebooks and topic tests which we are providing you, from the fact sheets which we are providing you, and we are going to couple this with TISSNET GK score booster tests from the month of October onwards, and we will also be providing you special videos for revision from the month of October onwards. So if you are the part of our course, you don't need to go to Manorama yearbook, you don't need to go to any other yearbook, or you don't need to go to NCRT books to study GK. Whatever we are providing you in the form of ebooks, in the form of tests, in the form of GK score booster tests, and in the form of videos is going to suffice for your GK preparation. And then people who are also the part of the coaching course, you don't need to worry a lot, because the verbal videos, the Cont LR and DI videos which we are providing you, they consist of concepts which are at par with the difficulty level of TISSNET exam, and they also take up past paper questions of TISSNET, and hence you don't need to worry about TISSNET past papers and just wander on the websites. You can just rely on the questions being taken up in the videos which we are providing you. And then for vocab and idioms, we are again providing you ebooks. So again, you don't need to go anywhere. And then the topic tests and the sectional tests in the Cont LRNDI part as well as in the verbal part is going to ensure that you have done a good level of practice. In case some of you want to practice beyond whatever tests, assignments, sectional tests, mock tests we have provided you, you can always refer to R.S. Agarwal, Verbal and Non-Verbal Reasoning book for Verbal Cont LRNDI part, and R.S. Agarwal Quantitative Aptitude book. Now, remember that if you are the part of our courses, whether it be a GK course, whether it be a GK and mocks course, whether it be a coaching course, you should always be feeling free to ask for any mentorship from us over the WhatsApp group which we have created for the course students. Feel free to ask any of your doubts 24 cross 7 on the WhatsApp group or over a call with us, and we would be more than happy, like always, to answer your doubt at the earliest possible. So, once you are the part of our courses, you should not worry about doubt solving or mentorship or what strategy should you adopt to score high in the exam. For everything out there which you need to prepare effectively for TISSNET, we are there with you to help you out. So the leverage the advantage which you have over others who have not joined the course, and let us guide you to ace TISSNET exam. And yes, once you are the part of the TISSNET coaching course, say bye to the CAT level content which a lot of offline coaching institutes they teach you, because that CAT level content is not going to come in TISSNET. TISSNET needs a very GK focused preparation with basic levels covered in some of the important topics which we have discussed in this study plan session. So you don't need to prepare at CAT level. You don't need to go to an offline coaching. A focused online coaching course which you have already joined with us, along with the GK preparation, a effective one, a good level of practice from GK, focus on topics which are very particular to TISSNET GK, should be all good to help you score high in TISSNET exam. So, as you are already the part of the course, you have already taken the right decision to move a step closer towards your dream college. And yes, at the end of this session, I would like to thank all of you who have aspirations to get into TISS. That with all your support and trust on us, we have become the number one TISSNET coaching, and we have been producing the best results for TISSNET exams, which are even better than the results produced by the likes of Career Launcher, Time, etc. So we thank you all, especially all the non-engineers, all the people who are coming from medical background, social background, humanities background, psychology background, who do not appear for CAT, but they prepare only for TISSNET throughout the year, and they have trusted us over last 2 to 3 years, and they have been preparing solely through us. So we thank you all, and for helping us make this course a huge success, not only for HRM program at TISS, but for almost every possible course which TISS has to offer you. We have students in almost every course which this offers, from social entrepreneurship to psychology to public health to social work. You will find our students everywhere. So we are glad that you have trusted us over the period of few years, and we assure you that we will continue to help you in the best possible way. We will let you get every possible resource which you need through us to be able to score high in the exam, to clear the cutoffs of the courses which you are aiming to get into. Once again, we thank you all for trusting Career enough for TISSNET preparation and for joining this particular session. Thank you everyone.